What's up, guys? It's Mimi, the ALE Double X Prince, here with another video. Yes, I rarely do back-to-back videos, but I decided to do so. I was bored. I was just scrolling around, just doing whatever. Then I decided to just go back and watch WrestleMania 30. I said, why not? I won't watch WrestleMania 30. And then it kind of motivated me to do a series in this channel. If you guys are willing to do it, I'm gonna try it out with this one. Basically, I'm gonna book Daniel Bryan's WWE World Championship run if he never had to retire. I mean, not retire, but basically, he did retire. Just basically what I would book if he never got injured in 2014, because this could have been easily the biggest time of his life. So what would I have done differently if he never got injured? Well, it was starting off pretty good. I'll say that. So basically, what happened is he won that WrestleMania. Then he got injured during his match with Kane at Extreme Rules, and then he had to drop it, which led to a big multiple man Money in a Bank match, which kind of sucked, to say the least. But yeah, basically, let's just go on with it. Here's what I would have booked. So basically, let's start with WrestleMania 30. He gets his big moment. It's great. Then he was gonna put the titles on the line against Triple H the night after Raw, but then it gets completely destroyed after the Shield invades and attack Kane in Evolution. So let's continue on that story. And I think they went the right call with putting the Shield versus Evolution, and then putting Daniel Bryan versus Kane in an Extreme Rules match. I think they went the right route with this. And basically from there, basically keep everything the same. So far it's going pretty good. So I think keep it the same way. And then at Payback, I would do Kane versus Daniel Bryan again, but in a buried alive match. This way, it will show that the shows matter now. Because something that, if we were sincerely gonna enter a new era of professional wrestling, this would have been the right route. Do Daniel Bryan versus Kane in a buried alive match. Daniel Bryan obviously wins. He smacks Kane with the shovel in the head and throws him and buries him alive. And then he retains the World Heavyweight Championship. And there's that. It would be a good match, and honestly a good send-off to retire Kane once and for good. I think this should have been the curtain call for Kane. He's been at the top, but how great would it be for him to go out against his former tag team partner and tag team champion, Daniel Bryan versus Kane. This can conclude that feud and also retire Kane, and he leaves in good terms, because believe it or not, I think that Kane and Daniel Bryan had great chemistry at this time. Like, I think it would have been great. The way it was great with how they had matches. So I think this would have been the perfect way to send off Kane once and for good. He's done with it. So now there's really no authority figures. Now, the same night on Raw, Triple H, Batista, and Randy Orton had the argument, which led to Batista quitting and doing Guardians of the Galaxy. Also the same night that Seth Rollins turned his back on the Shield. And yeah, let's keep it on that down low. John Cena. Now, this might be controversial, but I would have actually John Cena beat Bray Wyatt at Payback. I know people hate saying that, but LOL, Cena wins, I guess. And then John Cena said that I've worked my ass off to become World Heavyweight Champion again. Two more, and I beat Ric Flair's record, so that's my goal now in the WWE. That would be his storyline. And Stephanie McMahon said to her, she's like, you know what, John Cena, you have been a big draw to this company. You have been at the top for as long as you have. So how's this? I will give you a championship shot at Money in a Bank. But if you lose, you're fired from WWE for good. You're fired. And it's one of those things where John Cena wants Daniel Bryan to succeed, but in reality, he still loves being in the WWE, so it's kind of like one of those things. So it will be a great match and a great story to tell, and then we could play back that story how Daniel Bryan's like, yeah, you keep pretending that you're my friend. We might be married or we might be in relationship to sisters, but we're not friends. Like, we could play off that story, and it could be a good match to finally have at Money in the Bank. And Daniel Bryan beats John Cena clean. John Cena is completely shocked. He's saying goodbye to his he's basically seen everything. He's like, holy crap, this is it for me. And then as soon as like they're about to shake hands, Triple H comes out and beats the shit out of both of them. And then Mr. Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins, who won the briefcase earlier in the match, he goes and to try to cash in, and then Dean Ambrose comes from out of nowhere and beats the crap out of him. So, there's that, and then Triple H is shocked, and then Daniel Bryan just like does the super knee to him. He runs, that move that he does. I keep forgetting the knee. I just call it the knee. And then basically the show ends with Daniel Bryan still standing tall, holding the belts, and they realize that the Authority cannot beat them. Now, currently, Randy Orton is feuding with Roman Reigns, which is what actually happened in real life. Because this way, you could develop Roman Reigns to take on one of their top players in the company, Randy Orton. Seth Rollins is dealing with Dean Ambrose. Triple H, he shouldn't be the WWE champion. So they decided to call one of the guys that the McMahons, who kind of really do not like this character, but they should respect him. They call out Paul Heyman. They say to themselves, I think we could work out an agreement. Paul Heyman and Triple H and Stephanie discussed, but then one episode of Raw, they finally discussed like, oh, I have a plan. I have a guy who can take Daniel Bryan's championship away from him. And then Raw ends. Now we're all thinking it's Cesaro. So we're getting Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Battleground. We have a pretty solid match. That way we could finally develop Cesaro as a top guy, and as well as him being a Paul Heyman guy. Now, the problem with Cesaro being a Paul Heyman guy, it was basically him leading up to Brock Lesnar. All Paul Heyman did is brag about Brock Lesnar while Cesaro was just kind of like in the freaking background. So let's play to that. Basically, they're consistently, they have the match. It's an awesome match. It'll establish Cesaro as a main event player, and Daniel Bryan still beat the odds. And Daniel Bryan, the next night on Raw, he says that he is beating everybody that there is to beat. And I'm glad to take on Cesaro. I might not be glad that he's a Paul Heyman guy, but he definitely showed a great performance last night. But he was no match for me. And then that's when Paul Heyman's like, yeah. I didn't mean that Paul Heyman guy. I meant this Paul Heyman guy. And then Brock Lesnar comes out, beats, he F5s Daniel Bryan. And then we set up Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Cesaro was just a guy to distract Daniel Bryan from the bigger picture, Brock Lesnar. So let's play off that story. Basically, SummerSlam goes kind of the same route because John Cena is technically not in the main event this time. Because he is fired, he does everything to come back to the WWE, and that's when he challenges Triple H in a no disqualification match. If he wins, he gets his job back, so yay, I guess. It's the only thing I could have thought of for John Cena. And for the rest of the card, it basically goes the same route. Everything did. Everything, keep SummerSlam the same. I would only add Cena and Triple H no DQ match, and then Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar for the World Heavyweight Championship. The night goes kind of the same in the sense of everything goes right. John Cena wins. Roman Reigns beats Randy Orton. And Brie Bella actually beats Stephanie McMahon. because this way, if you want to do Nikki Bella versus Brie Bella, let's play a story of Brie Bella finally getting all the attention while Nikki Bella is just another thing there. So let's do that instead of what they actually did, making Nikki Bella or Brie Bella Nikki's Bella's bitch. So much Bella. Anyways, we'll play off that story instead of what we actually got. So all of the authority figures are done. Basically, they all lose at SummerSlam. But the one thing they really wanted out of SummerSlam was Daniel Bryan to lose the World Heavyweight Championship. So, sure enough, we get Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan, World Heavyweight Championship match. And Brock Lesnar basically beats Daniel Bryan. Now, again, this is if he doesn't get injured. But because if you really think about it, though, all the matches I've given him, he is pretty injury prone. So I will have Daniel Bryan have a time off for a while. And basically, since Brock Lesnar beat what's his face, Daniel Bryan, he's now the new tough guy, of course. So I'll have Daniel Bryan go off on an injury just like to make sure he's okay. And when he comes back, it makes sense for him to be in the Royal Rumble because Triple H, actually, technically, the Authority loses at Survivor Series. So then Daniel Bryan comes back around that time, and he just gets prepared. So when he does fight Brock Lesnar or fight the World Champion or whatever, but yeah, so that's basically how I would have booked it. At Night of Champions, instead of Brock Lesnar versus Cena or Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan, whatever, we'll do Brock Lesnar versus Cesaro just so we could have a finale to that feud or something like that. So that would be much better. So anyways, that would be how I would have booked Daniel Bryan if he never got injured. What are your guys' thoughts? I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's me, the ALE XX Prince. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And comment down below what other kind of videos you want me to do. What other title runs do you want me to rebook or try to book? Let me know. Again, subscribe. Till then, I'm out.